G'day guys, welcome to another episode of the GTC. Today we are at Strathallan Golf Club, taking you on a little bit of a journey. We're going on an adventure. Compounding from George's high handicapper, what would you call it? Well, I knew we called it the developing golfer, but it was a bit of a 9-hole walkthrough.
It's a cheat code on how to break 100.
I'd like to show you how the mid-handicappers do it and how we're going to get to scratch together. So, going to play 9 holes. Just going to talk you through a little bit over a few things and just see how we navigate each challenge bit by bit. So, stay tuned. First things first, always try and get a bit loose before the first. Get a nice little warm up. Get a bit of a routine together so you know what you're doing before you stepping up to the first tee. So whether that's hit the practice green and get together a bit of a few putting drills, do a few chips. If your local club has hitting nets or a driving range of some sort, if that's something that sort of you fancy, certainly make sure you're nice and loose before you hit to the first tee box, which I've got something down pat, which is usually about a 2-minute exercise, because there's a lot of times when I'll turn up to a round and I've got 30 minutes, and then there's other times when I turn up to a tee box, turn up to a golf club, sorry, and I'm going to go straight to the tee box because I'm late.
So don't be late, moral of that story.
Would be. It's true. So the first is about a 320 metre par 4, straight up the hill. First things first is probably where you can tee up, tee box location. Just make sure you know your shot shape, your standard shots, because you could tee it up all the way over there, or you can tee it up all the way over here. For this one, I want to try and be as close to the middle of the fairway as possible. So that's just in line with what I can. Let's try and get off to a nice easy start. All right, not the best when you've just arrived 5 minutes later.
It's eerily similar to last time we were...
Well, I was going to mention that we have previously filmed this before, and due to some technical difficulties, unfortunately, we couldn't release that, so we've sort of had to re-film, which is what today's all about. And I could tell you, I played magnificently. In fact, I think we had audio issues, so we've still got vision, thankfully. So we'll just play some vision now of how I played during that round where I was going to take you through the same challenges that we'll face today. Oh boy, did I have a round that day. That was fantastic. I have just come off a pretty good round at a very nice golf course. So my first thing I will say is you've got to know the difference in the terrain you're playing. Don't worry about over here because that's always going to be junk, but more that stuff that's a lot nicer. Hero shot. Straight through them, over the trees, down on the green.
Just play a big slinging draw.
No, it'd be a cut. Or safety method. Don't compound your mistakes. Chip one out there, and then either in a perfect world make up and down for par, or limit your mistakes, take your bogey, and move on as a mid-capper. Oh, and I've duffed it.
Well,
See,
you've got a shot now over the tree at least.
That's probably the first issue. Didn't really check my lie there. Just assumed everything was going to be hard, and it was soft.
Ooh, that would have been the one.
Not wrong there.
That move before you hit it.
So we're already facing some significant pressures on the first hole, which is okay. You don't want that to set up your round. I think from a golfer's point of view, if you're playing an 18-hole round, you've had 3 strokes, and I haven't hit one clean yet, so that'll come.
Well, it's funny. Everyone probably thinks like the mid-capper probably shoots around 85, 90 every time he gets out there.
Yeah, and they probably think they hit the ball cleanly every time as well.
Correct. So it's probably opportune that it's happened.
Where it's like, don't get me wrong, like, I mean, I've made, how many videos have we made over the past couple of years? We would have made 30 videos, more. And so you've seen plenty of good shots and you've seen plenty of bad shots from me.
At this point in time, I think everyone's wondering if he's mid-capper or not.
Haven't got my divot tool with me at the moment. I'll go and grab that before hole 2.
Gee, that's something different. You expect that from a developing golfer.
Now they've understood that I've quite literally turned up 2 minutes before the film session was set to begin. Apologies to all the producers out there that have to deal with terrible talent. All right, so that's a double. So off the top, poor. Double, shit. Don't like that. To me, I think, so I use a golf scoring app, and which I'm going to assume like most others watching this video would, because they're quite tech savvy and they love the game of golf. And inside that app, they give me like statistics or goals, like what you should be sort of doing each round, and they sort of drill it down. So for me, double bogeys, I would say 2 to 3 double bogeys a round is what I would like to have, or less, of course. I mean, obviously no one would like to have a double bogey. So I'll look at that and go, wow, could have played that hole so much better. But at the same time I go, well, okay, that's my 1 double bogey for this 9, or that's my 1 of 2 double bogeys that I can have for this 9. If I'm playing 18, I'll try and, improve that on the back 9. So I'm not too down on myself after just the first hole going, shit, 6 to my scorecard. This round's over already. What am I doing for the next 8 holes? Let's just whack it around and not give a shit. So that's what's going through my head now. What's going through my head next is, all right, I need to just have a nice clean swing off the tee on this, get my confidence up, because I don't feel like I hit a nice shot at all then.
That's a nice shot. Looks like it's going to fall short. No, right on. He's back.
Now let's make a 2-putt here, make a 3, and then it's sort of a bit like a reset. And we're away. We're away into the round if we can do that. What's a mid-capper? I would say mid-capper is anywhere 10 to
18 or something?
Yeah, it's probably 18. That's probably a nice one. Yeah, 18's a nice number, bogey a hole. 10 to 18. Single digits, I would say you're a low handicapper, which is what it's my current target. But everyone would love to get to scratch one day. So I wonder what changes in sort of their thinking or their goals when they play certain holes. Is it the fact that it's, all right, we're going green in reg, fairway in reg, green in reg, flag hunting, or whatever it is?
Yeah, you'd be thinking of something more broad, like no doubles, no,
because for me,
no
it's
bogeys
like,
on a par 5.
Yeah, correct. For me, it's like, we're not going flag hunting, really, ever. I'm going...
Join it up.
No, we can leave that one in. I don't know why I'm even lining that up. Shouldn't have to. Like, as I was saying with my statistics before, like I know that I aim for 7 greens in reg around out of 18. Probably one of my strengths lately has been hitting fairways, so I like to keep my fairways above average. And then putts, 33 putts or less. Actually, 32 putts or less, I think it is. These are all 18-hole statistics. Well, that's a gift, can I just say? Because that's just looking to get into a sort of 2-foot radius. And if anything drops in that vicinity, that's a gift. So that's a nice one to get back. That's a real feel-good story for the
Confidence booster.
big fella. Anyone has a different sized hole that they're aiming at. Like, you know, I would say the higher the handicapper you are, the smaller the hole you're aiming for. Like for you, for example, you're probably just going, I'm going to go and hole it. I get it. That's what I'm aiming at. Whereas, you know, guys that are more around my handicap level, they're going, okay, that's 2-part territory for sure. And there's videos all over YouTube that explain like specific statistic analysis around, you know, if you land your ball in a, you know, 10-foot radius or a 15-foot radius or 20-foot radius, like what, even from the pros perspective versus an amateur's perspective, what you're expected to do. And I think the biggest difference you see between an amateur or a social golfer and a professional is anything around the 5 to 6 to 7 foot range. Whereas they're constantly holding them and us blokes like us are missing them. Okay, let's see. This is, I think it's a 226. No, I think it's a bit further. I don't know, 220 or 230. It's a short par 4, but it's heavily tree lined and OB, and I've got a big fat tree in the way. So
shot selection key here. Club selection is key. Ooh.
We're not. We'll head down there and check it out. Nothing's official today. Because I'm towing the OB line here.
And towing it
is
absolutely generous.
Generous.
What do you think though? Like, obviously we've done our high handicapper developing golfer video. If you haven't seen that, just check that out on our channel. What's the biggest thing that you think changes from a developing golfer to a mid-capper?
Well, look, the first thing is when you're trying to improve from a developing golfer, high handicapper to a mid-capper, is by subscribing to the channel. That's the first thing. Just click that button underneath the video. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from us.
On the road to 500 subscribers.
And of course, today's video is much aligned and thanks to Pally Golf. GTC Golf 15, head to pallygolf.com.au for 15% off. Thanks to the boys in, I was going to say the boys in blue because that's our logo, but not today, I'm in white. All right, cool. So I did find the ball out of bounds. So I clearly either played the wrong shot or the shot was bad. So not playing any sort of numbers today yet. So, which is not ideal. Everything was off field for the first couple of holes. All right, 64 meters thanks to Punter's Golf. First bounce, short. Pull up. Don't go in there.
Oh, stiff.
Bit to work through here. Stop. Just a touch hard. That one's a little bit outside the friendly area. Unfortunately. So the golf ball line I used to use all the time. And then slowly but surely, I'm now only using them on short putts. And then, overread that.
Uh-oh. Tough few holes.
That's an unofficial 6, I guess, if you want to put it down. So we've gone double, birdie, double. And I've always had a saying, it's 3 holes to warm up if you turn up and just start swinging. So that's my warm up out the way. So obviously you just saw my missed putt there where it was over red and I missed on the high side. Although it's a miss, that's the best miss to have. You always want to be over-reading them, not under-reading them, because you're giving yourself the best chance to make putts, because depending on your speed, if the ball is slowing down, going towards the cup, or it's stopping in speed, you are going to be more likely to hold putts going over the top as it's going to fall in than being under red because they're going to fall away. The second part to that is your putt coming back is actually going to, or should be easier because it should be closer to the hole. And that's through sort of statistical analytics as well. Whereas the more it's under red, it's going to race away with the break and be further away from the hole than a putt that was over red and just goes over the top of the hole and will stop closer to the hole. So one key thing when you're reading greens or even executing putts, always try to overread and never try and leave your putts low, because that's the worst thing you could do. George.
That'll do. That's probably the best drive we've ever hit on this hole.
Well, just killed the rubber tee.
Oh no, it's taking a weird
All
bounce.
I heard was the rubber going. Here's a trap I've fallen into many a times before, and it's a learning because I'm now trying to get better at it. And it's when you go into a round with a preconceived idea of what you want to do or score. So there's plenty of times in the past where I'll go in and, you know, if it was a day like today, I know that my best here is 3 over or 2 over, whatever it may be, right? So that's a 34, I think. So then I'll go in and go, oh, geez, I'd love to shoot 34 again today. And you step up to the tee on the first and you think, well, to shoot 34, I've pretty much got to make no mistakes. So let's make sure I make no mistakes. High chance your tee shot is going to be a mistake. But even if it's not, you're more likely to make mistakes that day because all you're doing is getting your head and putting so much pressure on yourself to try and shoot that score. And I've been there and done that. Where my best scores have come from and my best rounds and my best days, my best outcomes has been just rock up to the course, high energy, little expectation and a lot of fun. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Wow. Now you see they're the shots you do get a little bit upset with or frustrated with because you've hit a good tee shot, so you've got a great look in to a green in regulation. You got a nice number that you like. You hit a nice clean shot, and oh my god,
it went real long.
I've hit it hard, which it didn't feel like it hit hard. It felt like it hit it nice, and it's just a complete miss.
I have no idea if that's how you drew that up, but it come up real good.
Yeah, that's how I drew it up. Now these are the putt lengths that the better the golfer you are, the more you hole. This is the perfect length. You asked me before, what's probably one of the what's the biggest thing or one of the bigger things to upgrade or from a high handicapper to a mid-capper? Greens. Everything you do on greens. So it's between obviously executing with your putter, but then everything before that, where the ball lands to start with in a radius outside of the hole, and then how you read greens. One thing I definitely would say is always read greens from under the hole, low side. It's going to give you a much more truer read for your putt than being on the high side. No, didn't break at all. Thanks for taking the flag. Just want to bump this one onto the putting surface.
I reckon you got to try land out somewhere about here.
Thanks, Cad.
It's all right. Oh.
Now you see, in the end,
Lucky you listened to me.
In the end, you know, there's people that would look at that putt and go, oh, I nearly hold it. I'm looking at the speed going, that was ghastly fast.
Yeah, I'll get it.
It's probably for good reason that you're getting that.
It just goes to show how like marginal golf is. If that's like half a ball back to the left,
yeah, it's in. And
that's probably hitting off the pin and going in.
Not worrying about these putts, these two putts here. Man, these greens aren't breaking at all today. I feel like there's a bit of break in them and they're all just going a bit straight. Geez, they have really hardened up these tee boxes. It is a nightmare to get a tee in at the moment.
One would suggest you might have to attend the gym.
Oh, wow. Ooh, wow. Okay. Cop that. Cop that. I finally got it in and now it's too far in, so now I need to get it out ever so slightly. This is also the worst way I've ever put in a tee. And
It just looked like a
and
real
realigned it.
hard work the whole way through that.
I looked like a first-time golfer then. And sure enough, now I had it too high.
Well, you won't be reaching anything with that. It's just gone straight in the air. You happy with the lie here?
It said I had 100 and something meters here, but I mean, I think it's a bit sus. So I'm just going with like a choke down 3/4 pitching wedge. Lie's okay. As long as it doesn't move on me for the third time. Yeah, see, that number was way bad. Really bad. See, and that runs out. Ah. Good save there. $115, but a mat gives you an extra 10 meters, I'm telling you. Because if you hit it fat off a mat, it won't matter. You'll still hit it pure. But if you hit it thin, well, then you're in trouble.
Go. Get in the hole. Oh boy. Oh boy.
There was a couple of seconds, a couple of bounces where it was like...
Sort of bounce and tended towards the hole.
You never know, this video might make a lot of sense. Might be memorable. And then it's still 20 feet away.
It's a lot closer than I was actually expecting it.
If I had got a hole in one that on this hole, every single viewer would have had to come down and subscribe to our channel, because we would have hit 500, which is what we're aiming for at the moment. We would have hit 500 very quickly. Oh, I nearly picked that up with my fingers and it was a wasp.
Oh. Would have been a trip to the Austin.
That was lucky. I've left it short. See, low and short. Nah.
Under E.
The worst kind.
Crunch. Oh, that's a tee shot.
Got 62 left. And
attack the hole.
This is a real
So left-hand side of the green pin.
Kind of a bit of a gift, to be honest, but I don't really want to flop it. And see, similar to the fourth hole when I said, you know, these are the ones that you don't get too often. Stop. Yeah, see, look at that roll out. I actually thought I'd...
Oh, that's rolled out and off.
Perfect example of what you need to be, or what you need to do as a mid-capper, is learn from your mistakes. And I've just done the same thing as what I did back on hole 4. So therefore, my journey to scratch, or my journey to single figures that I'm trying to do, is still stagnant, because I'm making the same mistakes that I just made 20 minutes ago. Got to get it there, Steve. Turns out the thicker muck was a bit thicker than I thought. And I've given myself absolutely no opportunity to tap this in for par. Now, due to the fact that the ninth hole's out of action, I'm going to play this short par 3, the second again, just to finish this off. Hope to make a hole in one, just to, you know, reward the viewers that have hung around, watched all 8 holes of the up and down golf of the mid-capper. Haven't put together, you know, much of a score today, unfortunately, but that's also a good little story in itself. That, as I said, earlier, you're not always going to go out and shoot your best score.
Oh boy.
You're going to get attacked by magpies in the process. We're just on high alert here because they're coming from behind.
We are absolutely on high alert.
No, that's a cocky, that one's all right. He's our saviour, even though I just told him to shut up. But yeah, like I guess from today's aspect, if you're going to take any learnings out of this video, which I hope you sort of have, this is the reason for it. Definitely pay attention to your greens and how you're going to read greens, how you're going to attack greens. More importantly, once you get to the green, you know, what side you're going to read it from, how you're going to attack the hole. You want to be always, you know, tumbling the ball in on the high side, not the low side. Give yourself the opportunity to have a better second putt or hold the putt originally. How you're going to read greens from the low side. Make sure that, you know, your longer putts are not just saying, I'm just going to hold this from 25 feet. Just make sure that you're giving yourself a realistic goal and a realistic target to get it closer. Just to sort of round this out as I hit hopefully my last swing of the day. The mental side, don't go in with a predetermined score or what you want to be shooting. Pay extra attention on the greens. I guess go out there and just have fun. Like that should have been the first thing. Don't think about golf being the competitive beast that it is, because at the end of the day, you're only playing yourself. Like, yes, you might have mates out that you're playing and whatnot, but if you're going to incrementally improve your game bit by bit over time, then that's how you're going to enjoy the game of golf. That's a perfect one to finish on when you go to the greens.
We finish on 4 pars.
All right, thanks fellas, you can cut to the credits.